Hello and welcome to another video by myself, Chris from Sorare on the Budget. Today I'm going to be taking a look at some budget buys for the Scottish Premiership, and these cards will all be useful for your threshold teams, your cap 220s, that kind of thing. So in this video, as I say, it's going to be all around the Scottish Premiership. We've had a couple of games so far, sort of averaged out the scores for those games. It's all outfield players. They're all under £40 for rare. I've only included the rare prices. It's quite easy to go and have a look for the limited prices. The stats I'm going to give are regardless what bracket you look at that. The prices are correct as of 12 p.m. today, which is Wednesday, the 23rd of August. If you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button below. Even if you're not brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button below. It just helps grow the channel. Also, if you're new to Sorare and you're interested in getting started when you see some of these prices, you can sign up at sorareonthebudget.com. The link is in the description below. You'll be able to do that there. So, without further ado, let's crack on with some of the players. So, the first one is a gentleman wearing the same top as myself, Joe Shaughnessy. He moved from St Mirren to Dundee. He's the Dundee captain this season, as you can see with the armband. His price is ridiculously low. It's coming in at £12.40 on the market was the price there, and that was the same as basically, I've put the recent price as that because it was the lowest one. You'll notice it's the last two. It's basically just because there's been two games, and I figured it might be worthwhile looking at what they've done this season so far. So he's on an average of 50 points from those two games. Last 15 is 41, so he's very cap friendly. As I say, he is the captain. He's played he played both games, played 100% of the minutes. He hasn't left a park. Unlikely to drop out unless we've got, unless he's injured or suspended, that kind of thing. But for £12.40, guys, that is an absolute bargain. Next up, another former Dundee player this time, Paul McGinn. He's been in so many of my videos, and it's pretty obvious why. Price is coming in at 30 quid. He's averaged 56 points for the season and the last 15 of 55. So he's not entirely budget friendly, cap friendly, but he will help you get towards those thresholds. He might be one that you use, for his higher scores. Motherwell have been playing pretty decent so far. Plays at the back, mainly centre back, or he can play at right back as well. Next up, we've got a striker here. So we've got Jordan White of Ross County. His price on the market was just shy of 40 quid, one of the more expensive ones. The recent sale price was 35, so it's pretty decent. Average of 42 so far this season. He has a goal, which was against Celtic at Parkhead. Last 15 of 47. I think he had either 2 or 3 big missed chances last weekend, however, but he's going to be one of the regular starters. There might be a bit of rotation with his strike partner, but he's going to be in there every week. In the Cup, he had 2 goals and 4 assists for the season so far. So he's been playing really well so far, and that's over 5 games. So, one definitely worth having a look at if you're looking to get a cheap striker in that's always going to get you the points. Next up, another one, a long-time favourite, long-time hold. I think he's the longest hold in my gallery. Danny Armstrong, 40 quid. Recent price has been about 32. Consistency, 51 is his average for the 2 games this season, and 51 is his average for the last 15. Plays on the right mid and right wing. Kilmarnock have been in really good form this season. They've beaten both Celtic and Rangers so far. So they're in really, really good form. There's quite a few Kilmarnock players in the video. Speaking of which, Stuart Finley on loan from Oxford United back to Kilmarnock where he started, where he managed to get international honours, and he's been playing pretty well since he's turned up. His price was really, really cheap, 25 quid. He's going to start every game unless again there's an injury, in my opinion. Last for the season, 52 average. Last 15 of 50. He actually even had 2 goals in the Cup so far as well. So you're looking at a player that can score, especially from corners, that kind of thing. So, decent pickup, a great price as well. I can't believe some of these prices, to be honest. Stephen Kelly of Livingston. Now, he's plays centre mid, mainly as an attacking midfielder. He is more of a prospect rather than one to put in right away. Just see if he's getting a run of games. But 20 quid, former Rangers youth, really talented. So far, he's got an average of 39 and last 15 of 39 as well. So again, it's pretty consistent, but cap friendly. So if he is going into your team, you could put him there as the lower option to fit a higher value card in there. He was a substitute against Aberdeen in the first game of the season, didn't start, and then he played the last game against Rangers. So, speaking of Kilmarnock again, let's go back to them, and we're looking at Marley Watkins now. He scored the winner for Kilmarnock against Celtic at the weekend there. Market price for him was only sitting in about 15 quid. Now, he started all their games so far. Kyle Vassell's been injured at the end of last season, was taking a bit of time to come back in. However, Marley Watkins has played really well in his absence. He's started both those games. He can play as a centre forward or as a winger. There's a chance that when Vassell comes back in, he might play as part of a two. But his price is really, really appealing on that one. His average for the season so far, 39, very cap friendly, because a lot of his games at Aberdeen last season were coming on as a substitute, so he's only got a last 15 of 30. So you could fit him right in. In my opinion, he'll start this weekend. You'll see that in the Play Sharper predictions, which will be up shortly. But yeah, I just think it's a really good price. I picked one up myself yesterday for a little bit more than that because I had to do it through Pavel Trader, but I think he's a cracking player. Ryan Strain, speaking of cracking players, his prices come right down on the market. I think a lot of the prices have, as we all know, but his market price 26.60. His season so far, he has played both those games, 100% of the minutes. Plays as a right wing back or right midfield, and it depends, how they line their back three up. 35 for the season so far, 46 regularly. He's usually in and amongst, assists and things like that. He had 4 assists in the cup in 5 games, so you can see what I mean from that. It's just not clicked so far in the league campaign, but I would imagine that's going to come. Next up, Motherwell centre mid, Callum Slattery. Easy for me to say, £35 on the market. He's had a great start to the season. 62 points is his average, and last 15 of 46. He hasn't got any decisives. That's basically just been all through his AA. Which is great value. In the cup, 5 games, he's had 3 goals and 1 assist. He seems to have made that centre mid position his this season, and it just seems like a really good value, and one that, again, I other than injury, I foresee him being in that starting lineup, especially this weekend and moving forward. Speaking of players that will almost definitely be starting, Matty Kennedy moved back to Kilmarnock again in the summer from Aberdeen. 30 quid on the market. So far, he's got a 52 score, last 15 of 42. So again, cap friendly, because a lot of those appearances were substitute. So it's kind of working in his favour at the moment. He's played both those games. And as I say, new signing from Aberdeen, playing on the opposite wing from Danny Armstrong. So I'm going to try and line both those players up in the same lineup, because if Kilmarnock get a goal, there's a good chance the assists are going to come from one or either. So that was my thought process there. Another cheap option, Connor Randall from Ross County. Now, he's a defender card. He's always played right back, but this season, for some reason, they've moved him into centre mid. So he's played defensive midfield or just actual centre mid. And he's been playing really well. He's got his first 2 goals of his career, which maybe reflects that it's maybe a better position for him. So he's coming in at £12 on the market. I think that's tremendous value. He's got a 50 average for the season so far. Last 15 of 41. So again, you're looking at a cap friendly score in there. But 12 quid, he seems to be taking a game in the midfield role. So 1 goal in the cup, 1 goal in the league. So yeah, working out pretty well for him. And another one that's, he's been in several videos, but Bruce Anderson, he's always going to be in there and thereabouts. He was subject to a £100,000 bid from a Georgian club earlier in pre-season. Still a chance he might move, so it's a bit of a risk. But 26 quid. He's only played 1 game this season because he came on as a substitute and got injured and had to go off. So he missed it the weekend, but he was back on the bench in the cup last weekend there. So I would anticipate he's going to be there or thereabouts to be in the lineup this weekend. He has a 31 average for the season, 39 for the last 15. Joel Newbley is expected to leave Livingston this summer before the deadline next week. And that would mean, he would immediately, be that main man there again. He's had 3 goals in 5 games in the cup there as well this season, so he has got a bit of form there about him. So worth picking up if you can get them. Just bear in mind to be, on the lookout for any transfer moves. So there we go. 12 players to go and look at, guys. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to the channel, especially when the videos are so sporadic. The views have been there. It's always great to see that. If any ideas for upcoming videos, drop me a DM on Twitter. You can find me at Sorare on the Budget. And as I mentioned, if you are new to Sorare and you want to get started, you can use my link to sign up. You'll get a free card when you buy 5 from the new card auctions. Yeah, so with that, guys, take care, and I'll speak to you all again soon.